Marrying the wrong person is one of the most dangerous things that you can do. Go ahead and grab something stronger than wine because you're going to need it after hearing this. As a trial attorney, especially in my area, family law, I feel like I've heard it all. I know the worst of the worst. I'm wrong. This is Giselle Pellicott. She is a 71-year-old woman, a wife, a mother, a grandmother. She's been married to her husband, here he is, for 50 years, and she describes her marriage as wonderful. She said she had a loving marriage. He was a wonderful husband, a wonderful father, and also now a wonderful grandfather. But oh, what a difference a day makes. One day she gets a phone call from the police, ring-a-ling-a-ling, and they're asking her questions about her husband because he's currently under investigation for being a creep. He was at the grocery store filming up ladies' skirts and dresses. Nonetheless, she's shocked. She's not aware of any of this behavior. Time goes on, they end up confiscating his phone, his computer, and some other electronics. And what the police discover is honestly one of the most unimaginable things a wife would ever suspect. For at least the last decade of their 50-year marriage, her husband had been drugging her and inviting strangers to come have their way with her while she was unconscious. He was taking sleeping pills and grinding them up into her food and her drinks. He had advertisement on adult websites for men to just come on over. This was all discovered because on his laptop there was a folder that was labeled abuse. The cops think they're just investigating a creep at the grocery store, but it's so much worse. In this file, there were over 200 videos and photos of these men just coming in while she's unconscious and assaulting her sexually. Most of the guys were strangers. She didn't recognize any of them except for one. One was her neighbor. Could you imagine waving and holding small talk with your neighbor from time to time? Lo and behold, he's your rapist. He's been inside their home. He helped fix like a couple of their bicycles. She sees him around town, waves him at the bakery. She even described him as normal, polite. The husband would give these men strict instructions on what they had to do when they came into the home. They couldn't wear cologne. They couldn't smell like smoke. Nothing that would trigger her senses and make her wake up. They had to get undressed in the kitchen so that they never would accidentally leave clothes behind in the bedroom. He had hand warmers for them to warm up so that when they touched her, she wouldn't wake up. Thankfully, 72 of these men have been identified thanks to facial recognition software. But only 50 of them are currently facing criminal charges, and their age range is in the 20s to 70s. The husband, Dominique Pellicott, is currently facing 20 years. That ain't long enough. She had no idea. And that's the scariest part of this. The police asked her about her health. She's been getting drugged every night for a decade. All she could say was that she's been to the doctor a couple times because she was starting to experience memory loss, but nobody could figure out why. You can live with, marry, birth children, have grandchildren, lay beside someone for 50 years and still don't know them. It's pretty rare that I'm ever speechless, but the only words that come to mind is be careful. Be careful.